as the title implies, is this actually the end game of gear? Do you not ever need to buy another mouse again?
In this video, we're about to find out, with thanks to Endgame Gear for sponsoring this video, or we like to call them EGG. They sponsored this video to showcase a bunch of cool peripherals that they have to offer that you can buy today. They're starting to sell directly on their website, where you can get access to their mice and keyboard and mouse pads. We're testing a wide range of them while also going over the history of this company so you guys can learn more about them and why you should maybe consider them for your next peripheral purchase. We have Zach behind the camera today because Jonah is ill. He's a little baby. But Zach's gonna be filming this video and giving you all some insights on Endgame Gear, some of the pros that use their peripherals, and us, not pros, are actually gonna be gaming on them to give you our honest opinions. So thanks again, Endgame Gear, for sponsoring today's video. Let's go ahead and dive into the first product. All right, Zach, so tell the people about Endgame Gear and what they should know about them.
So Endgame Gear actually started in 2019, and they entered the space being very innovative. Their first product was the XM1. It came out at a time where perforated mice were really trendy. It was like the era of like Gory's gaming mice. They first came out with the perforated shell, super popular. They're like, you know what? We still like solid shell mice, and we're gonna keep releasing them. And that's how they came up with the XM1. They entered the market with that and went on to win a bunch of awards, and a bunch of pros started using it in the pro gaming scene. They were also one of the first companies to implement the Pixart PAW 3370 sensor in 2021, and they introduced the KLGM 8.0 switches for the first time. Since then, they've introduced tons of other features like GX Speed Mode and KLGX switches to reach unprecedented performance and quick latency. Endgame Gear is super well known through the community for their amazing customer support, really fast quick latency and performance. Some of those esports pros that have used their peripherals include Tens, who use the XM1R at the 2020 Valorant Masters, where he won MVP honors, and even Simple, who's widely considered as the greatest and most accomplished CSGO player of all time. So we're gonna have the guys try out what I think is one of their most current iconic mice, which is the OP1.
All right, Zach, what do we got first?
Up first, we have the OP1 V2.
So this mouse features their custom KLGX switches. It also comes with a Pixart PAW 3950 custom sensor, specifically the U+1F95A, which is designed specifically for this mouse. It also has a flex cord that is USB-A and is a wired mouse at 51 grams. And as we mentioned, those GX switches are configured specifically for this mouse, which makes it very awesome for competitive use.
Yeah, and this one has a really cool, like, smoky, transparent design. I kind of like a lot. You can actually see inside of it, and you can really just see how they get these things to be so lightweight. There's really not a ton inside.
Now, obviously, when it comes to in-game gear, one of the things they do focus on a lot is they do optimize for performance with their mice, and they don't really care too much about wireless or wired. They do have some wireless options, but they're really all about getting the maximum performance out of their mouse, hence why they have a wired mouse that you can still buy today in an industry where wireless mice are getting more popular. So you're still getting a really high-performing mouse that is well trusted by pros, and also, well, solid build quality, even though it's a wired mouse.
Not to mention, when you're doing big tournaments, you can't really have tons of wireless mice right by each other. That's just asking for all types of interference and stuff. Even if you have a ton of wireless stuff at home, it's always safe. Anything that you can have wired, you definitely should.
So yeah, this is a $89.99 mouse, so that is the price point you're looking at. And again, the shape, very nice. First impressions, feels pretty good.
I will say, Zach, we want to test this thing in gaming, but we need a keyboard to game on. Do you have anything?
He says yes.
All right, what do we got, Zach?
We have the KB65 Hall Effect.
Ooh, a Hall Effect keyboard, okay.
Hall Effect.
It's pretty crazy. It's 8K as well, which is quite the selling point. So you could have an 8K mouse, you could have an 8K keyboard.
As Jackson mentioned, this is an 8K Hall Effect keyboard that supports rapid trigger and SOC-D, features silent Racia magnetic switches that provide smooth, lightweight keystrokes with a soft, quiet feel. It also comes with a Poron sandwich pad, stabilizer dampening pads, and silicone case dampening for refined acoustics. So we're not just focused on it being great for gaming performance, it's also going to sound good.
Okay, we have a very nice, sleek black design. And of course, it's a keyboard. We gotta, they're very quiet. Nice. Yeah, they're very quiet. So a lot of the time what you're hearing on these Hall Effect keyboards, because they're mostly pretty much all linear, you're always hearing the keycap bottoming out on that switch. I will say, they did a great job with dampening on this one. They have a nice lighter sound to them, but they're very quiet when they bottom out. So when you're, especially like at an esports tournament or just streaming, you know what I mean? And you got all these people watching you, they don't want to hear like that. So what's nice is when you're gaming normally, you can't even hear this thing.
And this is a full aluminum case with double shot PVT keycaps, and it does come with optional RGB software that you can use. Obviously, we're gonna plug this up and mess with some of the keybinds and see if we can set the RGB on the keyboard itself just to avoid needing software. It's always cool to have an optional software to get things set up. But we now have a mouse and keyboard. Obviously, there's more we're gonna showcase, but this will be a good way for us to get started to be able to actually game on these peripherals.
Okay, so we got our first peripherals set up. We got the OP1 KB2, and then of course we have our KB65 HE that's also AK. And we're testing out out some finals, we're actually using our fancy OLED monitor. This just basically is peak gaming at this point, especially if you're trying to get competitive. Our monitor is 0.3 millisecond or 0.03 millisecond.
This one's a 240 hertz 4K, so definitely higher resolution than most pros would use, but it's an OLED. It's very responsive.
It looks stupid good. The peripherals feel great. I do like the size of this mouse. I would describe it for me as like a medium-sized mouse in my opinion, maybe even on the small side for some people if you got large hands. The keyboard, I really like this layout too. I like having dedicated arrow keys. That's like an essential for me. And you still get your basic keys here off to the side, but then just for gaming, you have everything you need. The RGB looks really nice too. We got it set to like a nice white right now. Super clean looking, really quiet. You don't hear the keyboard at all, but you feel it and it feels good. And everything's just stupid responsive. I want Matt to take a feel on that. It feels great.
All right, yeah, first impressions, this mouse is so lightweight, I really don't even notice it being wired, to be honest. I like wireless mice, but I'm not against having a wired mouse that performs very well, feels this lightweight, and I never have to worry about a battery ever dying. Obviously, wireless mice do last a long time, but this is pretty nice. I do like the feel of it. It fits very nicely in my hand. Side buttons, very minimal. If I was like really heavy into competitive gaming, this would be kind of the one I would go for because it's very minimal, but yet the performance feels very solid. Keyboard I really like. I was worried with it being a Hall effect keyboard, I would hate the way it sounds and feels because there's other Hall effects that I've just not enjoyed for daily use. They're fine for gaming for daily use, not a huge fan, but this thing is just really well built. The aluminum shell, the switches in them feel very nice, they sound very nice. Even if I wasn't just like a very hardcore competitive gamer, this kind of minimal aesthetic is definitely popular right now, and if you have a setup that follows that trend, this would fit in very nicely, and you're not compromising on build quality at all. So this is looking pretty good. So far, I'm really liking what in-game gear has to offer, but we have some other options as well, including a wireless mouse option we'll get to in a bit, but let's go ahead and switch up to some other products.
Zach, you said something was missing from the setup?
Well, I noticed that we don't have a mouse pad. So we're gonna look at the EMC Plus. Catch.
EMC. Oh my dude. I forgot that wasn't a glass mouse pad, and I got so scared.
EMC Plus 500.
Okay, EMC Plus 500. This is a control surface with low static and high kinetic friction. Comes with a 3mm premium Japanese pour-on base, and it is subsurface stitching, so the stitching is very high quality. And I will say, the one thing as a non-pro user that we're really noticing on first impressions with this is the way this mouse pad shipped. You know how you get normal cloth mouse pads? They show up all rolled up and everything. When you open them up, it takes forever for it to get flat, and sometimes they never truly get as flat as they can. Shipping them like this guarantees they're gonna be as flat as they were intended to be.
Oh, dude, look at how
it looks very premium.
Yeah, this is different for me because I'm really used to seeing like, I don't know how well the camera will see this. I'm used to like this kind of textured rubber finish. This one, I don't know if Matt's, I've never felt
this. Oh wow, yeah,
it's
it is.
Really smooth.
Like,
it's
very
weird.
smooth.
Like when you're trying to slide it, it doesn't move. So even though it has a really nice feel to it, it doesn't slide around. I will say, it's less stiff because of this material. Like this mouse pad, you start to get that thing like this. I don't know how well you can see this, but we get that issue over time where you start to get lift, especially like the stitched edges. Even though this one does have a nice stitched edge, this thing I think is gonna be flat forever.
And it is a control surface. You can kind of feel like the grippiness of it has a bit of a grip to it. So very interesting. And I like this style of mouse pad. It's pretty cool. It's definitely like an in-between for somebody who wants to maybe explore glass in the future, but maybe wants the same kind of size and form factor on their desk. Again, don't yell at us pros. We are using this mouse pad on top of a mouse pad, but it's gonna be fine for our testing. Here, I'll even lift this up. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to fit most of it on here.
Dude, I will say, it almost kind of feels nice on my wrist. It is definitely more grippy than a mouse pad I'm used to, especially on like my hand. With the mouse though, it's not crazy. It's not like I'm feeling it and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's hard to move. Okay, so yeah, I'm on the control pad here. Normally, I like really big mouse pads, like extended ones. This one I'm okay with because it's so big that even though the keyboard's not on it, I'm never gonna go off of it. That's one thing for sure. If I go off this mouse pad, my sense is like way too low. I'm surprised because even though it feels way different on my wrist, it's not like as crazy grippy as you might maybe fear it would be, where you're like, am I gonna go to move the mouse and it's gonna like stick to it? No, it just has a little more control than normal.
This comes in at $59, which I think now would be a good time to mention. Code TOASTY10, you can save 10% off anything in this video, by the way. That is a code they're offering to our viewers, so be sure to use that on checkout if you do decide to pick anything up. I do kind of like the control, and it kind of fits very well with the mouse. It's control, but it also glides very nicely, and the texture is just different than any other like cloth mouse pad I've ever used. I can see myself using something like this. Again, I'm kind of in the same boat as Jackson. I normally would lean towards like the extended mouse pad. This one definitely has a feel that I could get used to. I could use this for sure. We've taken out this Target dummy 20 times. Let's go ahead and try the next product.
Now, Zach, mister, what if I don't like the shape of that mouse? You got anything different?
Well, mister, let me tell you, I got something different. It's the XM2 8K V2.
Easy catch. You know, we're going into this one a little bit blind in terms of like what the shape difference actually is, but I'm excited.
So this also features the Kale GX switches, kind of similar layout across the board. Same PAW 3950 custom sensor, the same flex cord. We also have a 51.5 gram weight, so just a little bit heavier than the previous mouse.
One thing that Zach pointed out that is, by the way, genius on their part. This cable, the molded part of the rubber here, it forces it to go up so you never have to worry about having that annoying cable drag, because obviously when it's on the edge of the desk, it's not terrible, especially if it's like a smooth desk, but when it's on the edge of the desk like this, you can feel it dragging on your mouse pad. It starts to fray your mouse pad and the cable. This is one of the only companies I've ever seen that like considers this. They definitely have thought of everything, and this one's definitely a wider mouse, especially on the top. It almost seems like the hump might be a little bit shorter as well. This one seems like if you have a larger hand, or if you're a person who doesn't normally use like a claw grip, I feel like this is pretty ideal. This definitely reminds me more of the mice that I normally go for, which I would consider to be like a medium to large size mouse, but still on the lighter weight side.
Let's set it next to this mouse real quick and see if we see our first impressions here. So obviously this one goes for a more solid color scheme rather than this transparent black that's over here. And yeah, it is just a bit wider, which probably leans towards it being just a little bit heavier. The gram difference, you're not really gonna notice it that much. It's really not that big of a difference. You can see the difference at the bottom of the mice. There's actually 2 additional skates on this one right here compared to just the 2 right there. Don't really know if it matters or if that's just a QC thing they decided to do. They're both very well-built mice. That same cord design is really nice. We'll kind of just game on it ourselves to see what the difference is like. We haven't both plugged up and kind of bounce back and forth and see the difference. But again, another option that they have to offer.
All right, so we got the OG mouse, the one that we started with, the OP1, and then of course we have the XM2 right here. I will say they both feel great to me. I could be happy gaming on either one of these, because at the end of the day, they're both very nice 8K polling rate mice. On this control pad, they both feel nice. They both have a little bit of resistance to them, but not enough to where you're gonna be fatigued from gaming. And I personally like the larger one a little more. I do love the finish though. I think they call it their, what do they call it?
Dark Frost.
I like the dark frost finish more personally, just looks wise, but this one feels wise. I think it's a little nicer. Oh, these bots are angering me. I'm about to flick on one of them. Check it. Check it.
Oh!
It's that easy, chat.
I don't think I can compete with that level of gameplay.
Hey, no pictures,
no pictures of the celebrity. All right, my first time using the mouse, and you can feel the width. You can feel the width difference.
You can feel the girth.
I have bigger hands, but I don't know. I always gravitate towards mice that are a little bit smaller because I normally claw grip. So a bigger mouse is, it's okay, but it's not my #1 choice. This one for me, again, we're talking the same price point for each mouse. It's cool that there's offerings at the same price point that have different shapes, because if you're just getting into the PC gaming space, you'll start to realize you can go down the rabbit hole very deep in different mouse shapes that work perfectly for you, and you could try a bunch of different mice. The guy behind the camera knows exactly what that is like. So having these two at the same price point allows you to have different options while not having to compromise on spending more or less money. I still personally would go with the OP1, but this mouse also would cater to somebody who wants a wider mouse, like Jackson, who likes his mice nice and wide.
I get to fill my hand.
He wants it to totally fill his hand for a great gaming experience, but you can't go wrong either way. I think these are really good options, and weight-wise, I don't really notice the difference that much, but I think we need a different mouse pad to track these on. We need to try another mouse pad, or is that? You got another one for me? You got another mouse pad.
Now, Zach, what if I don't want a control pad? What if I want something that's like, I don't know, like a little more balanced or something?
Well, we have a balance pad. It's called the EMB Plus.
Why'd you throw it so hard? So this one, we got the same, what do they call this, terracotta?
Japanese pour-on.
So on the bottom, we have the same Japanese pour-on surface, which I just love. I mean, not that you're ever gonna look at it, but it's just nice. I will say this one still feels, to me, kind of like, I don't know, it still feels
I feel like
grippy.
it still has the grip elements to it. So the specific terminology that they use with this is it's a balanced surface that delivers both speed and control, optimizing by blending dynamic and static friction that supports fast swipes, precision adjustments, and consistent tracking across a wide range of game genres.
It's funny, they do look totally different. We actually have like, I mean, they're kind of two different designs. We got like white versus like a gray logo. But then if you look at the color even, This one's definitely like a darker black. This one's more of like a charcoal. On the hand, this one almost feels like it'd be grippier, you know, but I'm sure that there's some science that they know way more, and they've been a lot of R&D. Are we stacking?
Do we stack? Is this sacrilegious?
Why don't we do a side-by-side test? Like,
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You're doing hand feel. Why don't you do mouse feel?
Ooh.
We don't really even need the keyboard right now.
No, we don't need it.
Okay, control, and then we got balanced. We got OP1, feels pretty good. We can also do this too. We can do a little slide action. So you can see it doesn't stop dead in its tracks or anything. And then this one here is our balanced one, which actually, yeah, you can definitely see moves a little bit easier. And then in terms of like once you're actually playing, yeah, I can feel it. It definitely is a little bit smoother. It's not like insanely, like to me, even the control one's pretty smooth, but this one's just a little bit smoother. And honestly, if you get much smoother than this, you might slide off your mouse pad.
All right, so let's see here.
Butter.
I'm doing this. All right,
Goodness.
so here. Oh, you can tell, yeah. But I mean, to be fair, I also gotta check the mice independently, but I need two of the same mice. In-game gear, get on it, stat. Yeah, I can see it. Well, let's see, I'm gonna pick the mouse I prefer and figure out which surface I prefer. I prefer this mouse. I could feel this one being better. I always consider myself a balanced person. Look how balanced I am currently. Yeah, this mouse and mousepad combo I think work really well together. And again, it's all about options. There's so many different options. That's why in this video they want us to show you guys all the different options you can choose from. And it's our personal preference, so you guys need to try all these different products yourself. But in terms of the feel and everything, balanced is definitely a good way to go. Considering price point and everything, I like this one. It's pretty solid.
Talking about options, how about I give you guys even more options?
There's even more, Zach?
There's even more.
Oh
we can
my
make
God.
these mice even more custom.
Whoa!
So Zach, you said customize the mouse. What do you mean by that?
We have some mouse switches.
More specifically, what Zach is handing to Jackson is the OP1 Universal Switch Set, which comes with 2 switch PCBs and 14 switches, compatible with the OP1, OP1 RGB, and OP1 8K model, equipped with mechanical switches.
And are these all different? Oh, they are different. Okay.
They're all different.
Wow. You know, I'm going to be honest.
I've never looked at a mouse
I don't
switch
know
like this
if,
before.
I don't know if I knew there was this many different ones. Zach, do you have any suggestions on which one we should try? Oh, the pink's loud.
I like the blue shell pink dots.
So Zach suggests the blue shell pink dot, which is kind of indicated by the colors here. We watched one quick little video and we didn't finish the video. We're not patient. We don't like instructions.
That's what we do around
We're about to see just how easy it is for someone to do, but we saw that you removed 2 screws. Okay, easy enough. We're using just a little LTT screwdriver. We have a PH0 in currently. Okay, so yeah, we are gonna have to take these off now in order to get to our actual switches. So let's give this a go here. So, you know, it's one of those things where they're hot swap, but it's a little bit of work.
So the standard ones are soldered, so then you swap it with those specifically.
There's a lot of screw left. Switch left, switch right.
Okay, so
You get to pick. So I'm assuming
Blue shell pink
that
dot.
once this is in, you're gonna get contact like this. Yes, makes sense. Cool. All right, here we go.
Oh no, just hand her the mouse. Be like, is there something wrong with this? Like for some reason, like the left one.
You know that would trick him.
He's
He'd
like-
be like, dude, the Q&A is not great here. The Q&A.
The Q&A.
PC.
They're not answering my questions properly.
God, it's like a Toasty Roast stream. So that was about with minimal research, that was about a 5-minute swap. Not too bad. Yeah, they feel pretty good. They definitely have like a more audible click to them. You know, like I said, this is totally a preference thing. It reminds me of keyboard switches, which I never really thought of with mice. I never thought like,
What is that freak ass? What is this stance you're hitting right now?
What'd you do if I game like this and I was kind of ignorant with it? I mean, I kind of am. I'm
kind of ignorant with it.
This might be my new stance. I mean, I'm hitting shots.
Gives your
never-
mouse more stability.
Yeah. Hold up.
Why do professional esports peripheral companies sponsor us? Oh yeah, definitely extra clicky.
How does it feel compared to the other one?
I like it better. I think it adds a little bit more feedback, you know, using the mouse. Obviously, it's not going to change my gameplay that much, but it feels nice.
Y'all have headphones on.
You can compare it to the one
it's
right there.
feedback for everyone else to hear.
They don't seem that much quicker.
No, the other ones almost sound maybe that other one's more hollow.
It could be, but hey, that's why you get 12 of them. You could try any of them, and when you pick up a mouse like this, you can get more silent, different feedbacks with a bunch of different ones. And again, it's $19 to add to your mouse, so that's a pretty cool addition if you are someone who wants to tinker with your mouse and find the perfect switches for you. Zach, we have wireless mice, don't we? Wireless mice.
And also, is it 12 or 14?
That
was 14.
14.
But
And also
that's
the
okay.
main reason for switching out your switch is sound, but also the actuation force needed. There are some that are lighter, some that have like a snappier rebound, so it just depends on like what you
Yo,
kinda
feel
want.
Cuzzo.
Zach, what mouse do we have next?
You mentioned not liking wired mice. Good thing these come in wireless.
I never mentioned that actually, but I do personally like wireless mice. But oh, this is cool. They got a little carrying case. I know that they do make some wireless mice, which we're checking out here, and these are actually 4K sensors instead of 8K. And why is that, Zach?
So right now, 8K is kind of like a niche thing. Like you can run an 8K, but if you do it, your system performance is going to decrease by like 5 to like 20% depending on your hardware. It's way more taxing on your CPU. You get performance loss. A lot of games don't even support 8K, so you get sensor skip. There's all sorts of issues with 8K. 4K is a little bit more stable, also getting that high-end performance.
Which I think almost all of us run wireless 8K mice. Do any of you guys use 8K?
Nope, I use 2K.
I use one.
Yeah.
I use 1K.
8K is also way more draining on your battery if you have a wireless mouse.
Yeah, way more draining.
And basically what we have right here, and why we're showing both of them at the same time, is these are just the wireless versions of the mice we've already looked at.
The cool thing though is we do have a white version of the XM2, which is pretty cool.
And a white version of the OP1.
Ooh, okay.
They knew what they were doing when they sent the different versions.
I will say, I really like the white on these because they kind of remind me of the panda theme. So rather than going for like all white, we have a nice white and black aesthetic, and it's a nice matte finish that, once again, I like the coating. I like the paint that they use. It just feels nice.
And as I mentioned, I really like the OP1 feel, and this one also feels very nice. And yeah, the white design is pretty cool.
You still get a really nice cable. Funny enough, they do the same thing with this cable. If you look, the USB-C is
Oh, that is cool. That is definitely an extra detail.
Please
for sure.
don't be dumb and plug it in like this, though.
Yeah, don't do that.
Check
then you're gonna be really mad about your mouse. You're gonna be really mad if you do it that way.
But it's cool. They do give us some cool little sensors, or not sensors, but receivers.
Yeah, that holds.
Yeah, there we go. Here's what we concur. If you put it the opposite way that you should the mouse, it holds really nicely on the desk. So yeah, this is cool. The goal basically with these is to have them as close to your mouse as you can while you're gaming. Obviously you don't need to be doing all this, but you know, towards the back of like your monitor, for example, somewhere where it's kind of hidden, but you can still get direct line of sight with your mouse.
The light, don't walk into the light,
The
Jackson.
sign of light.
And in terms of pricing, the wired mice, again, we talked about, they're $89.99 for each one. These are $129.99. That is the price difference between the two. So you are jumping up in price for wireless functionality, but again, if you want wireless, you gotta pay a premium for it.
You're also gonna jump up in weight a little bit too, in
Yes.
theory, right? Because these are the same mice, so I'm assuming we're adding some grams. So Matt, you got the OP1. What does that one weigh?
OP1 with wireless is 58.5 grams.
This one's 61.5 if you're doing wireless. And
So
then,
definitely a bit
yeah, where are the
heavier.
other boxes go? I was curious about the weight difference.
The XM2 is wired 51.5.
So you add about 10 grams.
Yeah.
And then the OP1 in wired is
Instead of 51.
51.
Yeah, so about 7 to 10 grams.
7 to 10 grams.
7 to 10 grams is
It's
kind
really
of
not
the
too
number you're looking
bad.
at.
That's
For
pretty
a
crazy.
battery.
That's pretty crazy fitting a battery that's like 7 to 10 grams. All right, so for fun, Matt,
We're gonna hook them all up.
let's see what happens.
We're just gonna hook
All
them.
4 mice at the same time. Don't do this at home. I don't know why you would. I don't know who has 4 mice lying around there like.
I mean,
"Oh,
when
plug
there's
in."
a discount code like Toasty10, you might as well buy the entire inventory.
the whole catalog. We're not even gonna know which dongle's which. Will the mice know?
I mean, I will pin the comment for the person who actually orders the entire inventory. Like, I mean, if you're
You
that,
gotta prove it. We
if
need
you're
a
that
receipt.
guy, pal, mouse spread.
Mouse spread, big money.
All right, we're gonna see if they all work. This one working. This one working. That
going back
working.
to screen.
All right, fill them out. Give the sitch.
Actually, every single one so far. Sorry, I know I keep doing. I know this is probably bothering some people. I'm just saying I would still wreck you in a lobby though. So far, I'm not having skipping. I'm not having any weird stuttering. I don't feel latency. I don't know how they did it, but somehow these wireless sensors and the wired ones, they're all working just fine together. I mean, the wireless ones feel great. They don't really have, these cables are so good that it's not like you feel a ton of drag anyways, but you get a little less drag.
I was realizing I haven't even tested the scroll wheels yet.
Dude, they're very notchy.
They're very notchy.
You can feel.
Definitely still not my preference, but using this one, and again, I'm gonna do the same thing as Jackson.
It's just right. It just feels right.
I'm gonna lift it up so so I can get the under the armpit shot right here. I like the wireless version. It feels very nice, very responsive, and we know wireless tech has come a long way where the average gamer doesn't know the difference. Even competitive gamers using wireless mice because you don't really feel the latency there. But there is something to having a battery and everything, especially if you're running in 4K. It's not 8K, 4K. I would assume still pulls a decent amount of battery running that high of a polling rate. So something to keep in mind. But wireless options, of course, you definitely have a wireless option when you're looking for your gaming mouse, especially at the price difference between the two. I definitely think it's worth the upgrade if you're looking for a professional wireless mouse for gaming. Do we have more Mousepad?
One more mouse.
One more pad!
Now, Zach, what if I just can't afford these nicer mouse pads? You got something for the broke boys?
I do. I have the MPC 450 Stealth Edition.
Thanks, Zach. That was such a soft, gentle throw. So the MPC 450 Stealth Edition, which I assume just means black, where the logo is also like a gray, assuming that's the Stealth Edition. The box, I'll tell you what, that's a strong box right there.
That is quite a strong box for this mouse pad. This one comes in at $29.99. Jackson
immediately tore
he
it.
immediately tore it.
Oh wow, you can actually, you know, it's funny, this one feels more like what I'm used to feeling in a mouse pad. You feel that, a little bit stiffer.
Yes, definitely a stiffer mouse pad for sure. $29.99.
Which saves you
$60, so you're saving about $30 on a mouse pad.
this really is for the people who don't want to spend a ton of money. All right. Ooh. Okay, so this one kind of reminds me.
It still has kind of the grip to it.
It does,
though.
man. All of these just have such a unique texture. I guess it's just really finely stitched, but you can just feel like the slight bumps in each individual one. I will say this one, I don't think has that.
It doesn't have the special booty.
I don't know if this one has
The Japanese
This
moron.
one must be American made.
It's an American moron.
Yeah, American pour-on surface. The logo's pretty cool. Kind of got a little bit of sheen to it, a little bit of glitter.
A little bit of smaller pad.
All right, we gotta have the triple.
Triple gaming sesh.
All right, I'm gonna go back and forth from all three. All right, here we go. Okay, so we got control. I can't hit the guy. We got balanced, hybrid. Feels pretty good. And then we have the budget king. Oh wow. That's actually crazy that you can feel the difference of the budget material. I will say the budget material is not bad, but it definitely has a lot more noise. So if you listen, let's grab it. Let's grab a mic here.
Yeah.
Yeah, feel that, man. It's pretty crazy. I will be honest, it kind of sells me on the premium mouse pads, as crazy as that is.
We'll say the noise is pretty bad on this edge of the mouse pad. If you go over here, yeah, if you do that, don't do what we're doing here. This is a problem.
Are we on?
Yeah, because this is on the build mat. If you're doing this, if you're over here, it's still a little bit more noise.
Now I feel like I need to try again now.
But it does feel different. It is still a unique kind of mouse pad surface. It isn't similar to other cloth pads. It has like a kind of a harder surface to it, honestly, but
He's just knocking on the desk.
it's a harder surface. It's like a desk, but it feels almost like, it feels more rigid than a traditional cloth pad, but it's definitely unique. All three of these have a unique feel to them.
Okay, so now.
You can still hear it, but
Yeah, definitely. Well, you know, all right, let's double check here. Let's double check something real quick. Let's make sure that
It's not pad on
having
pad.
it on, pad on pad crime. It's even quieter now.
Oh.
I think, well, it might be about the same. Now, so regardless, the premium ones, they're quieter, they're less scratchy. I feel like you're getting what you're paying for with the premium ones. And I'm gonna be honest, I did not think I'd be admitting that. I felt like I'm always gonna go for usually the budget option, but I don't know, I'm just, after using these, I'm kind of like, I think it's worth paying the extra money just to get the more premium sound and also just a little less scratchiness.
So yeah, we had some fun taking a look at all this in-game gear. A lot of cool stuff for people who really want to take esports seriously, or maybe just upgrade your peripherals, because I mean, in general, these are still really good peripherals for just general use. Let's go and put everything back together and wrap this video up.
So in-game gear, I gotta say, big shout out to them sending all of this gear over for us to try out. And even just off sponsorship, I really do like all these mice. The mouse pads are really cool. I definitely am a little more sold on the whole premium surface now. I just think that overall for the price that you're paying, they're pretty solid, because if you look at, there's some other artists and mice companies out there that charge double for mice like these.
So if you want to buy an in-gear gaming mouse, mouse pad, or keyboard, use that link down below and use code TOASTY10 on checkout. You will save 10% off your purchase, limited time only. And let us know in the comments down below if you end up picking anything up, if there's any preference you have for in-game gear products. And I want to hear from you guys if you are a daily driver. I mean, they've been around since 2019, so some of you may be using some of their stuff in the wild right now. How is it held up? Let's have a conversation in the comments down below.
And as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other 2 YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/ToastyBros. Do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
See you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.
So if you check out PCBros.tech in person, we actually sell mice just like these.
PCBros.tech is our PC selling business. We have a store in Louisville, Kentucky, where you can buy gaming peripherals, a gaming setup, and so much more. If you use code ToastyBros on checkout, you will save 3% on your next purchase. See you guys later. Bye-bye.